We sell direct response e-commerce products. We're all paid media. We do about $3 million a year in revenue. It's
Direct response
e-commerce products.
Okay.
Yep.
Like dropshipping stuff?
Pretty much.
Stop scrolling. Alex Hormozi just exposed why most e-commerce brands eventually fail. In this intense Alex Hormozi debate, Alex Hormozi breaks down scaling paid ads, shrinking margins, brand building, Shopify growth, direct response marketing, and why most winning products eventually collapse. If you run e-commerce, dropshipping, paid traffic, or affiliate marketing, this is a must watch. Subscribe for daily business breakdowns, entrepreneur debates, scaling strategies, and real revenue lessons only on Daily Revenue Report. Let's get into it.
Yeah. It's more branded than that, but essentially yes.
Yeah. So you have customers who are doing that, or you're doing that?
We're doing that.
Okay, got it. And so you have a handful. How many SKUs do you have?
Like 4.
Okay. Is it all the same brand?
No.
Okay.
Yep. So we have, we're doing, it's like 4 months old. So we're doing a run rate of like $3 million a year. We have, background in like paid traffic affiliate. So it's not the first rodeo with that. We're trying to get to like 15 million a year run rate.
Okay.
What's stopping us right now, not entirely sure, but basically like we have each step for everything that has to be done. We built out teams and systems for the main priorities, and those things are working pretty well. I'm happy with our talent and what they're producing. But so far, what I'm experiencing is that, I'm left with this, list.
All right, first of all, he's only been doing this for 3 months, all right? He should not even be in the room with Hormozi right now, okay? He needs to really get more data and let the business grow a little bit. I mean, like, if that's true, and he's doing 3 million a year run rate, meaning like he's estimated or projected or on track to do 3 million in revenue a year within 3 months, I mean, he's doing very good. He needs to let the business grow a little bit more. He needs to get more data before he comes back in the room. This is my opinion, my personal opinion. Let's see what Hormozi says.
Of like random chores that somehow only I can do.
The junk drawer. Yeah.
But I'm not sure how to approach hiring for this because it ends up being like a very niche specific task. But I might only need them for like, 20 minutes a week or something. So it ends up being me, but with a million things,
And you're founder?
Yeah, co-founder.
Okay. So let's start here. You want to get to 15 million. What stops you from spending more money?
Nothing right now. I mean, so we just hired a pretty robust funnel team and an operations guy, and like a strategist. So kind of just waiting on those things to kick in, really.
Okay.
But I'm fairly confident that we should be able to at least do another 2x from here.
Okay. So this is more a complaint than a constraint, right?
Okay.
Exactly.
This is me asking for clarity. So we think we can double if we just spend more money. I'm not spending more money because I'm waiting for this thing to happen. Once this thing happens, then I'm going to spend as much money as I can.
Sure.
Right? And in the meantime, I have stuff I don't feel like doing.
Okay.
I'm like, this is me trying to translate.
It's too
back.
early in the game for him to be
Yeah,
here.
but eventually there's going to be enough of that stuff that like I will have to find some way to hire out for these things.
Yeah, and then there'll be more stuff that you'll still do. You'll just do the more important, valuable stuff and give the other stuff to somebody else.
Yeah, but a lot of it ends up being fairly tedious. Like it doesn't feel like high leverage or high value at all.
I mean, this is where like VAs and project work can come really in handy.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an example. So when we made all the ads for the launch, right? I didn't need the amount of editors that I had to spin up in order to, because I'm not going to be making 300 ads a week, ongoing. I don't need to. But for the launch I did, and I wasn't going to hire an extra 15 editors full time because it's just like, I don't need that. And so we spun up 15 editors that were contractors who would then just clip, and we had one person just did QA on it to make sure that it was good, and then we'd ship them. Right? And so if we have something that's like one-time-ish work or it's sporadic, then I'm fine just having a suite or a bench of contractors that I can turn on and off.
Sure.
As long as they do decent work.
We do similar things like with our video editors as well, but some of the tasks are fairly specialized. Like
no, I understand. I was just using it as an example for editors, but I'm saying like if you have tedious work, like this is where the Fivers of the world like can come in handy.
Yeah.
And worst case, you train a contractor or a VA on how to do it, and then they do it.
Yeah. Just like someone that's high level enough in like Shopify work, but we only use them for a few
There's
hours
tons
a
of
week.
Shopify contractors,
Yeah,
like
of course.
a boatload of them.
Yeah,
and they're not
tons.
that expensive, and some of them are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just look at my list. What are the things I'm doing on a regular basis? Can I ship out most of these to a contractor who does it piecemeal? Probably. And now you're trading 20 hours for 2, and that's just, you just keep making that trade until eventually you're managing a ton of people, and then it's like, great, one person is managing all of these, and you just trade all that time for you getting more. Because hopefully, if you're doing that much work, then you should have the revenue to support that role. Have you scaled e-commerce like this before?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you just running paid ads?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have influencers who are doing stuff?
No influencers. We were looking to hire for that, but we have 3 or 4 channels for paid at least.
Yeah. I'll say this. How big do you want this to be?
I mean, ultimately, like the goal is we'd like to have a portfolio of, call it 4 or 5 brands that we can then exit in a couple of years.
So I have this conversation every week with somebody who's doing e-commerce. And it's almost always the same. Like, I would like to have a portfolio of a handful of products that I could eventually sell someday. I have really yet to see anyone do that. And it's, I think, for 2 reasons. One is that as you continue to scale, your CAC will continue to go up and your gross margins will shrink. And that will get frustrating. You will then also have supply chain issues, which would become a burden. You also have dupes if you start becoming really good that will undercut you in price and list on Amazon and all that stuff. Do you have patent protection like for any of these products? And so like you right now run a media arbitrage business, and it works really well up to about 10 million.
Okay.
And then it will quickly stop working very well. And so I think to your point of like you can see a double, that's probably true. You might even triple that's sitting there with a little bit of optimization, more email follow-up, blah, 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 blah. But you'll probably get close to capping in that neighborhood.
Yeah, so here's the thing, if you don't have an original product, I mean, you're like competing. I mean, he's doing everything right, but he's competing with hundreds, if not thousands, of other people. I assume he's doing e-commerce, drop shipping. He's selling a generic product. And with the generic product, it's like you hit a niche for a certain amount of time, then you got to find a new product or you got to find a new niche. I think he's right. I think this business has a cap. I mean, I think he's really over optimistic. You want an exit, okay? Oh, I want to make millions of dollars. They're gonna exit in 2 years. I mean, to me, this kid sounds like you want to do the least amount of work and make the most amount of money, which is cool. But I mean, it's gonna take a little bit more work if you want to make that. It just sounds like he's trying to make a quick buck, which I do not appreciate. I appreciate hard work, and then you can make the buck.
10, maybe 12. And then you're going to be like, well, we're doing $1 million a month, but we have like almost no margin and our cash flow is fucked. And so what I think you want is that you want to build a brand that has a.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. So it is very, very easy if you are not careful to take a profitable situation and you try to grow. Oh man, I want to grow the business. I want to grow it. I want to make all this money. Oh yeah. Oh, we double the business, triple our business, but you're spending all this fucking money and your profit goes out the window. And it may be months or it could be years before you actually become profitable again. So he needs to be very, very careful growing his business in a way that's actually profitable. So I mean, he's right. He can grow it, you can make it huge, and you can destroy the profit margins. And it's exactly what we're talking about. He needs to create a unique brand, not just be a drop shipping e-commerce company. Because when you have a unique brand, I mean, it's easier to get to those bigger numbers because you're not competing with $1,000 fish in the goddamn sea, you know?
Product that you really believe in that will allow you to recruit affiliates to your cause. When I say affiliates, I mean influencers, not traditional direct response affiliates that are just mercenaries, but like people who actually believe in it. And when you do that, you will actually be able to build a brand because fundamentally, like any one of the products can be big enough on their own to sell. And so rather than saying like, why don't we try and build 4 totally different products and totally different brands at the same time, it's like, why don't we just try to build one that we really like, that we think has a chance at actually like really helping people for whatever the problem that the product solves. That's what will build what I think you want. It's just that most people who come from the direct response world just are pure performance marketers. Yeah. And I say this being someone who comes from that world. And I had to learn the hard way that you will run into the wall that there's a great article you can read called The Direct Response Doom Loop, which you might have read. But basically, you just do this. Revenue goes up, margins compress until you're eventually here, and then you have to keep selling in order to maintain your team, and then you just run a very large, very high liability nonprofit, and it sucks. And cash flow is a huge constraint, and you've got all the supply chain bullshit, and then you're like, this sucks. And then you'd have another conversation come back here, and we're like, hey, we're doing 12 million with 7% margins. And I would say, okay, of the 4 products you have, which one is the one that's the clear winner? That's the one that's carrying all the other losers. And you'd be like, well, it's this one. And then I'd say, okay, cool. Why don't we just get rid of these 3 and then put all of your effort on this? Do you think you'd be able to win that way? You'd be like, oh my God, for sure. Yeah. And be like, great. So like, why don't we do that and then actually invest in building the brand around it? We definitely have,
we're paid traffic affiliates. So like we're data people. Like, but so.
I'm not gonna lie, man. This guy's face just screams unoriginal. I'm sorry to be an asshole, but look at him, unoriginal. So I don't think this guy's got an original bone in his body. Building an original brand, I mean, it takes charisma, it takes creativity, and like I said before, like I think this guy's just, wants to get rich quick. He's trying to do all the right things to get rich quick, but no, without actually building something with substance. So. I mean, and if you don't have that, you're not going to be successful. You might make he's already doing 3 million. Listen, we don't know what his margin is, He could be doing 3 million in revenue and his margin is fucking bubkiss, like nothing, like minute, Is if you undercut the competition, you can sell all day long. Profit, that's a whole different story. I don't know about this guy. Let's see what else this guy has to say, this unoriginal bastard.
One of the things that I've thought about is like, our biggest skew, it's good, but it's not that good. Like I know a good campaign when I see it. So like part of the purpose of building out like, our research and funnel teams is like, well, eventually we're going to find something where the market is just like 10 times better, So it's like, do we keep chugging along with like the one that's like a 6 out of 10 or?
I'm not gonna lie, man. This guy just looks like he just escaped the fucking Shire. I mean, he looks like he's half Hobbit. I don't know. Maybe he should make tiny homes.
Or do we go find the 9 and then go on that?
The skill set that you guys are deficient in is going to be brand. And that's what you have to learn how to do.
A brand.
And the brand is also completed with the product.
Right.
So like that's what completes the brand loop. Like we make this amazing promise, we have all these great associations, people then make the purchase, and then the product either reinforces the brand or destroys the brand. And if it reinforces the brand, then the loop continues and becomes a virtuous cycle. And that's how you go from an e-commerce store that does media arbitrage into a household name that you can sell for not just 50 million, but maybe 500 million.
Bingo.
And so it's just that like, I have this conversation literally every week. And so
hey, I don't think he can do it. I'm telling you, look at him. He just keeps talking about doing like shit that everyone else did to make a quick buck, like a guaranteed buck, You want to get rich, you got to forge your own path. You got to take a machete into the jungle and cut down the trees and make your own path that no one else has walked, no one else has followed. I just don't think he has it in him. I just don't. Look at him. Look at him.
I know that you're coming at this from a math perspective. It's just that it will not work at scale. And so I would rather you spend as little as you can on all of these different things to find a product that you guys really think is legit and has some level of defensibility if you can.
Bingo.
Because if you don't have a defensible product, the only thing that you have is the brand to differentiate you.
Yeah.
That's the only differentiator. And so if you're competing, because like, just
look at him. Everything that Hormozi said went in one ear and out the other.
Played out the next step, right? Like, let's say you find your 9 out of 10. No one's buying that. Like, private equity investor, not buying it because they know the game. They buy brands. They don't buy products. And so you get your 9 out of 10, and then the dupes flood because they see that you're killing it, and then they undercut you on all this stuff, and then your ROAS goes down, and then you leak everything to your competitors. So either you have some sort of patent that you can actually protect and you have a legal team that can enforce it, or you build a brand. So like that's the long-term play. The rest of this is just making money until you figure that out.
Exactly.
I'm being super real with you.
Yeah.
I'd just rather save you a couple of years.
Yeah.
But like that is where this leads.
Okay. I mean, so
How do you build a brand?
yeah, right. Yeah, how do I do that? But
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, we called it. Look at him. Look at his face. So how do I do that? How do I do that? He doesn't have a original bone in his body. He's an unoriginal bastard. I don't think he can do it. What do you guys think? Like, share, subscribe. We drop videos like this every day. Shit, I'm not gonna lie, I missed them last couple days, but I will get on it. I will get on my own ass and make sure they're dropped every day. But yeah, what do you think? You think he's gonna be able to build a brand or not? Leave a comment below.